Hey, Joseph.
Hey, Noah.
Long time no see.
Whose fault is that?
It's a mixture of various things.
AKA, it's your fault.
And it's not my fault.
That's not what you told me.
I mean, you could have texted me, but I would have ignored you.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have ignored you.
Yes, you do. You do it all the time.
I never ignore you. You ignore me. It's quite the opposite, actually.
Hey, I'll admit to ignoring you sometimes.
I don't ignore you, though.
Oh, you're so foolish.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We're living in 2021.
I don't have one of those little thingamajigs that Darius used in that little Happy New Year's video years ago.
Party horn.
Yeah, that thing.
I have some sparklers. You want to light it up?
I don't know how good that's going to do in an audio podcast.
I mean, it'd probably pick up a little. Fizzles out like our relationship.
Dear Lord.
You and I were like sparklers. We start strong and we end with a disappointing, anticlimactic exit. So Joseph, how was your New Year's? I haven't talked to you since last year. Haven't seen you since last year, buddy.
Yeah, since a year ago.
Yep, which means we're a year late to this review.
Well, you know how life gets in the way.
Hello everyone, we hope that you're having a good 2021. And it already seems kind of like in a bad start with a lot of things going on.
Please do not get into this. I do not want to.
We need to
stay away from politics. Stay away from politics. No,
it's more than politic. Let's not politic. But yeah. So at the end of the year, we should do a 2020 versus 2021.
No, you can do it, but I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not.
We should at least look back 2020 for a little bit. Just talk briefly about it. 2020 was obviously a bad year for everyone. No need to mention the elephant in the world that has caused everyone to just have a bad year. But for me personally, not too bad. Actually pretty good. You know, it sounds mean, but like on a deeply personal level, it was a good year for me. But like in terms of all that's going on, yeah, it's bad. I acknowledge that. It's not just about me. I understand that, but I just talking from my point of view. And like when the whole shutdowns happened, I was only out of a job for a month. Fortunately, I was able to get back on my feet, so to speak, and yeah, I mean everything just worked out well and blessed. I just want to acknowledge that it's good to be here, and I'm happy that we're here, happy that we're healthy, happy that Joseph's here. What about you?
I mean, 2020 was a
yes, it was a year.
There's ups and downs.
That's every year, though.
Exactly.
Go into more detail, because this was a different year. This will be stuck in people's memories for a long time coming.
I mean, it was just another year.
I don't think you could just call it just another year.
For me personally, I mean, it was just another year.
I mean, you've
didn't really change all that much for me personally. I'm not gonna say something like that for everybody, because I know it affected more people like worse than it did me. It just didn't really affect me personally.
Yeah.
Minus a couple of cousins one cousin that died from it, one that died like right before it started.
Ooh. Like, right? Oh, I didn't know that. Didn't mean for this to be the depressing podcast. Mm-hmm. Star Wars?
Yeah, nice segue. Well, we're going to end up going into a civil war, so why not go into the Star Wars?
Speaking of mourning people's death, Star Wars.
God, that's a terrible segue.
It's not a segue at all. They have no connection.
Mine was a little bit better. We're going into a civil war, so why not talk about the very famous Star Wars?
I mean, we're almost in Star Wars. No need to make fictional shows about it. We're pretty much there. We're like 100 years off, maybe. Even though these are set in like ancient times, supposedly, in a galaxy far, far away.
Far away. A long time ago.
We're gonna finally talk about The Mandalorian Season 2.
Yay.
For any new viewers from the Season 1 review, welcome back. We know that you're mad at us, but blame it on Joseph. He's our scapegoat.
Yeah, it's always me.
Joseph was healing, okay? At the Jedi Temple.
Jeez. Yeah, and then I got taken away from by Death Troopers.
Then he became Snoke, the most worthless villain in Star Wars history.
Fair play.
So we're probably going to do like we did in the Season 1 review. We're going to go into each chapter, talk about things we liked, any pivotal or important plot points to point out. We will do accordingly, and we're just gonna have a good old time again, talking about Star Wars, because that's like 45% of Joseph and I's conversations. If it's not about Star Wars, it's about Minions debate, Disney debate, or
I hate you.
What it is. What else do we...
Freaking Minions, stupid.
It's an ongoing debate. You can't just like disregard it totally.
I will disregard anything you say about the freaking Minions.
Shall we go into Chapter 9? Chapter 9, The Marshal.
By far the longest episode in the series.
So Dan is on a quest to seek out more Mandalorians. He goes to Tatooine, and you think when this... I forget his name, but when he shows up at the cantina, you're like, oh, is it Boba Fett? And it's not.
There's a new sheriff in town.
There's a new sheriff in town. But yeah, it just like goes into the Jawas saved him because there was like a big slave thing going on in his hometown, and he was like close to dying of a heat stroke and dehydration, and Jawas picked him up, and presumably he bought the used Boba Fett armor to protect him. If like raiders came in and saw that there was a Mandalorian, they would tread more carefully or not even come at all. Then there's this big dragon. Yeah. Is that all you had to add? Yeah.
I was about to start talking because I didn't know you were. By the time I started talking, you started talking back up.
Go ahead, Joseph. I'm not gonna interrupt you.
Yeah, I didn't really care for this episode.
What? It was cool. You had a big dragon.
It was fun. The dragon is a little misleading.
I mean, they called it like a dragon of some sort.
That was more like a space worm. You know in SpongeBob, yeah. How Sandy and that little worm in that tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
This
Alaskan
is basically a Star Wars
worm.
version of that.
It's the Alaskan bullworm. That comparison sucks.
It's just one of those. It's like what I was talking about, how in that last podcast with Season 1, if they would have dropped all the episodes right away, I would have reacted a little bit better to this episode than I did.
I mean, you got like a good cliffhanger when it has that shot of Boba Fett.
Yeah, and how long did we have to wait for him to come back? A month.
A month? But, your little tummy was tickled when you saw him again.
It just feels like the complaint that a lot of people have to Walking Dead, how they just do filler episodes. Yet when Mandalorian does it, it's critically acclaimed.
I don't think this one's like rated very high. I don't know. But I like you have to admit that The Walking Dead does kind of like just drag on, just tacked on ideas.
Some, yes. But
I'm not,
a lot of the episodes that people say is filler episodes, it's not really not.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I didn't really care for this episode either.
But it's just a little hypocritical, and one show everybody complains, and I don't know.
It's just cool to see Tatooine again with the Sand people, because I don't know, when I was a kid, I saw that a lot because I had the Star Wars VHS.
Now people gonna say that I hated this episode. I didn't. I liked it. Fine.
You sound like you have a strong distaste for it.
I just don't. Okay.
Joseph, you forgot the most vital thing of the show. You forgot to announce the spoiler alert.
Oh, okay. Spoiler alert.
I actually don't want to talk like too in depth about each episode, but we will be. I mean, obviously we'll spoil like the very end because in a lot of people's eyes,
episodes I'm gonna be talking about a lot.
Of course, we're gonna talk about the end. So go ahead if you haven't watched already, I'd recommend you watch it. To a lot of people, I mean, I've seen a lot of people say that season 2 saved 2020. I don't feel it as strongly, but yeah, it was a good way to kind of end the year on a good note.
A fictional show saved the whole year.
That's what some people are saying.
That is Jesus.
I mean, to a lesser degree, they're saying that this saved Star Wars.
Some people are speaking of being dramatic. Jeez.
Are you gonna spoil everyone's party? You know, they're excited.
Sure. Yeah, that's all I got for this episode. You want to move on to the next?
Yeah, chapter 10, The Passenger. I saw that a lot of people actually didn't like this episode, but I liked it.
Remind me again what this episode was.
Remember the mechanic, like she has a lead on where other Mandalorians are, but the one thing that Din has to do is carry this frog lady.
Oh, is this the spider?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like this one. You sound like you didn't like it that much.
Yeah, it was fine.
I actually like this one, and
I'll say it's kind of stupid that people complained about how Baby Yoda was a cannibal. Was it?
Not cannibal, but he's just eating other species while they're in these eggs. He just keeps eating them, and he even
I guess
eats
cannibals
one of the
eating their own species or something.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Like did genocide in a way. It's like he doesn't care if this because these frogs are like the last remaining of their species or whatever that she said. And
yeah, like those people never eaten a pork chop or a steak or bacon or
they're not
hamburgers or
those are endangered species.
Chicken or fish wasn't an endangered species.
Yeah, the frog lady. Yeah.
Still though, it's fiction.
I don't know. I feel like the stakes were pretty high because I cared about this frog lady. I don't know why. I just did.
Oh, please.
I did.
You liked when she was taking that stupid bath, didn't you?
Yeah, that hot spring scene was delightful. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I mean, it was quite literally a filler episode, but I didn't mind it. I like the icy planet and the spider design was really cool. If you have arachnophobia, you probably couldn't watch this because it's spiders galore, like half of the episode. There's so many spiders, but I have no problem with spiders. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I got more uncomfortable with the spiders in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets than I did in this episode.
Are you trying to discredit the spiders in this, or what are you? What are you saying comparing to
it was
Chamber
really
of Secrets?
It wasn't really a spider. It was more like it was a spider-like creature, but it wasn't really a spider.
Well, you know what I mean. It
from what I remember,
it very much resembles a spider.
That's why I said it's like a spider-like creature, but I wouldn't really say it's a spider.
Here we go, the great spider debate.
I'd rather have this than a dadgum minions for sure.
But then they finally make it to the aquatic world, and they have a really good landing. And then we're going to chapter 11, the Heiress, where Mando finally finds other Mandalorians, and
Bo-Katan.
Just was very.
This is actually the first episode that I loved of the season.
It was okay. Do you just like it because of Bo-Katan?
That was the first episode I actually liked of the season. It's not my favorite of the season, but when it aired, this was the first one that I actually loved or really liked.
Well, I mean, then just sees as Mandalorians, and they have, they take off their helmets, and
It was the first one of the season that felt least like a side quest.
Yeah, it does kind of start off slow. Like, it doesn't really pick up. The story doesn't really pick up until chapter 11.
Then, if I'm not mistaken, it goes back down the next week. All right. Yeah, what were you saying?
I was just saying that, she points out that Den is following like an ancient, like, ultra religious rules of the Mandalorians when, she was Mandalore born. So yeah, he wasn't even born on Mandalorian, and he's following like these super strict, hyper religious ways of the Mandalores.
Yeah, I mean, I like this episode. Being it, granted, it. Boy, I don't even know if I want to really talk about the Sasha Banks little role. But I mean, everything minus her little character, I liked.
And we learned that Bo-Katan's after the Dark Blade.
Darksaber.
That's essentially a blade.
No, it's Darksaber.
It looks more like a blade than a saber.
Would you call a lightsaber a light blade?
It doesn't resemble a blade. The Darksaber does.
Tomato.
I'm gonna kick us off with Chapter 12, The Siege.
Who said I was done talking about Bo-Katan?
You're still on about Bo-Katan.
I'll be honest. I actually haven't seen the. I'm not caught, like I said in the Clone Wars, Mandalorian Season 1 podcast review, that I'm not entirely caught up with the Clone Wars, and I wasn't going to watch Rebels until after I saw Clone Wars. So I know she's a character in it, but I didn't really know about her until, like, I had heard the name, but I didn't really know that much about it before Mandalorian. This is The Siege. Alright, yeah, it's Chapter 12, The Siege. Basically, are we done talking about Chapter 11?
Yeah. And like this one, I hardly remember besides, the doctor announcing the M count, metachlorian cells and Baby Yoda.
I mean, yeah, really the main thing. Chapter 12 was a little step down from Chapter 11, in my opinion. It was still good.
I would say so. I don't even remember the episode.
That's your problem. I mean, I still liked it. It was just a little step down for me. I mean, mainly this episode was there for introduce, or not really introducing, but showing Mando that Moff Gideon was still alive and still out there, still alive and kicking, that he thought he had killed in the finale of Season 1. That and the midichlorian count, as Noah said, and Baby Yoda.
Now the juicy episode, Chapter 13, The Jedi.
Yes, now this is the first one that I really loved.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I loved the episode where Bo-Katan was introduced, but this was my favorite of this.
I was about to say this is probably my favorite of the season.
I don't know. It's definitely between 13, 15, and 16.
They arrive at this city.
Well, not 15, 14. Yeah, 15 was the one with Bill Burr returning. I like 15 too, so it was definitely the latter half of the season I loved.
Yeah, the latter half was good. And the first part, a little slow, felt unnecessary. Like the fat could have been trimmed off of it and had better episodes. But I mean, they weren't terrible by any means. But
I wouldn't really call them terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't encountered seeing this whole series like a terrible episode. Maybe like some I would not rewatch, but I would rewatch some of these, like this one in particular, the Jedi, because I love the way that the city looks. It's very Japanese samurai inspired.
But yeah, this is the first episode that was truly great of the season. From the opening with freaking Ahsoka, God Almighty, Rosario Dawson.
Oh yeah, they did perfect casting for Ahsoka with Rosario Dawson. But
yeah, from that to the meeting of Ahsoka and Mando.
I'm kind of familiar with her character, but not, and like I recognize her, but I don't have the context of watching the Clone Wars movie or even the television series. So I bet for a lot of people it had much more of an impact. But yeah,
like when she was talking about how she didn't want to train Yoda because she'd seen how the power, like how someone with that kind of power could go down the dark side or something like that. Something along those lines.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're getting at now. And it's not Baby Yoda, it's Grogu.
Yeah, now we got to start calling him Grogu.
Yeah.
Grogu.
If we ever see him again. we probably, yeah. But I mean,
we'll get to that in the finale. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
But yeah, and freaking looking for Admiral Thrawn. Now, like I said, I don't know much about. I haven't seen Rebels. I am not finished with Clone Wars, so I haven't seen Thrawn, but I've like read stuff about him, know like what his characteristics are and all that kind of stuff. And I'm excited to see when and if, I'm sure that he will, or maybe not the Mandalorian show, maybe in like the Ahsoka show they're making, which I don't know when that's. I don't think they've set a date for that.
They have so much Star Wars stuff planned out.
Yes,
with the success of this show, they're like, well, let's make 4 other shows.
It's like they realize they got a cash cow with Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah, they're gonna beat it to a
but
pulp.
Really, the only shows that I'm really excited for is Ahsoka and the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, it'll be good to see Ewan McGregor reprise the role of Obi-Wan. It'll be good to see that again.
What's the that character from Rogue One is getting like a series. I don't care.
I've forgotten her name entirely.
No, it wasn't the girl. It wasn't Jen Erso. It was the guy. It was like her love interest. No, I really don't know his name. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they'll have
Diego Luna
some sort
is
of
like the guy who played him, but I don't know about the character's name. I want to say it's like Cassian Andor, but I'm not. Yeah, Cassian Andor. But this guy's only getting his own show.
Let's get back on track.
Oh yeah, I was about to say like what all shows I was interested in.
And I forgot the guy's name, but he was like second in command or whatever. And they have this shootout. It was a really cool scene while Ahsoka and Thrawn were having their little sword fight, which is also really cool. We got to finally see lightsaber action in Star Wars, which I could probably do without seeing like anything to do with. I mean, it's gonna lead to Jedi stuff with any Star Wars story that you tell. But if I'm not mistaken, I've heard
this is
that
the first time we've seen lightsabers in Mandalorian, minus the darksaber. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, if you count the darksaber, then
this is the first time we've actually seen a lightsaber in action.
Yeah, that's why I said finally we get to see, but I was just rebuttaling with saying, well, I could probably do without actually seeing a lightsaber thing in a Star Wars media. And if I'm not...
You can't really have a Star Wars without lightsabers.
If I'm not mistaken, I've heard that Solo, there's like no mention of Jedis or anything like that.
I know Darth Maul makes a cameo.
Well, never mind, but I mean, maybe a little bit of the Sith, but maybe not Jedi. But I mean, I don't mind.
I haven't seen Solo, but I've seen that little scene.
It's on my watch list.
It's been on my watch list since when did it come out?
3 years ago. It hasn't been on my watch list until you guys on one of the episodes of Scooch are like, if you like fire us, you could just do a solo episode about Solo. Just a lame joke.
Oh yeah,
ever since then I was like, I probably will review Solo just by myself and talk about it. And
I mean, I've already told you. I mean, well, I'm not going to announce it right now. Never mind. You can cut that out.
Whenever you say, Master Joseph Skywalker.
Or you can leave it in and make me seem like a little idiot. I don't care. But yeah, I don't want to announce that right now.
No, I'm curious what it is.
I've already told you.
I forgot. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I realized. I gotta pee.
Really?
What? I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. I'll keep you guys entertained. Boo-doop, ba-doop. Boo-doop, ba-doop. Good lord, I'm an idiot. Commercial break.
If you enjoy our content, make sure to go to the support link down below, click on it, and you can do your monthly contribution if you enjoy the show.
So, a homeless guy and a rabbi walk into a bar. The homeless guy is he back?
What are you talking about?
Nope, nothing.
I heard homeless guy.
I said a homeless guy and a rabbi walk into a bar.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were telling like an anecdote or something. Homeless guy and a rabbi walk into a bar. Rabbi says, "You save money more than I do."
Dear Lord. That's the best you can come up with.
Well, the homeless person doesn't have any money to spend. So yes, he saves more money than the Jew.
Jeez.
Hey, that was pretty good improv. What do you got, huh? But then where are we at? I forgot. Ahsoka tells him to go to this Jedi. I forgot what the place was called. It's like a rock, essentially. It's like It's like Stonehenge. Jedi Stonehenge.
Don't ask me what the planet was. I don't know.
And he finally got his Beskar spear.
Yay.
Yep. I've been waiting for that moment since the first episode. Even though I didn't know of the Beskar spear until this episode, which most people probably do. The ancient temple is called Tython, by the way.
But yeah, this episode, definitely the best of the season at this point. So next episode, chapter, what are we on? Is it 14? I'm trying to remember what happened in 15.
Why? We're on 14.
Yeah, so I know what.
15, I think they're just they recruit Bill Burr again and...
Oh yeah, 15 was that Bill Burr. Okay, never mind. Go, continue.
And they, on chapter 14, the tragedy, they go to the ancient temple that Ahsoka told them to go, and when he sets Grogu there to meditate, there's this huge force-filled energy that Din can't get through because it's just so powerful, because Grogu is so powerful. Boba and Fennec arrive because Mandalorian has his father's armor, or not his father's armor, but his armor, but he's just going into the origins of his father. And does this guy, does he voice act some of the remastered of voice lines of Boba Fett in the original trilogy? Because they sound similar.
Yeah, so what had happened was the original guy, when the Empire Strikes came out, they had I don't know the actor's name, but they had this guy. Okay. When they had recast for the prequels, the guy they had cast for Jango Fett ended up voicing over Boba Fett because it was a clone of him.
Yeah.
So he was Boba Fett from then on.
So wait, is this the actor from Attack of the Clones?
This is the actor from Attack of the Clones that played Jango. Yes.
Oh, I thought he looked very familiar. I wasn't sure if it was a different guy this whole entire time, but I knew his voice sounded familiar. That's cool though.
I don't know the guy's name, but yes. But he voiced Boba, he voiced Jango, he voiced all the clones.
Not really much happens in 14. Besides the conflict of
Boba Fett actually being a badass for once.
Yeah, there's the whole fight with the Dark Troopers, and they're trying to get...
Yeah, come at me, I said for once, because Boba Fett wasn't that badass in the original trilogy.
Ooh.
Compared to this episode, he wasn't anyways.
Do you have anything to add on to chapter 14, or shall we move on? And
the ending.
Is there anything of note you want to talk about, chapter 15?
He gets kidnapped.
Yeah, that's a big that's a big plot point. Yeah, and they go back to get him. They recruit Bill Burr again. Forget his name. And
I will say, and we had forgotten to mention this, because before we talk more about it in 16, in 13, Ahsoka had told the Mandalorian that a Jedi would come for Grogu.
Oh if they when they went to the
put
temple.
him on that little stone.
Yeah.
And I remember when that was said, there was all these theories about who was going to be that Jedi to come pick him up, whether it was going to be Luke, it was going to be Mace Windu, it was going to be Cal Kestis, it was going to be what's the freaking guy from Rebels?
I wouldn't think it'd be Mace Windu.
Oh god, there was a theory.
It would have been cool.
What's the guy from freaking Rebels?
I would argue it'd probably be cool to see Mace rather than what we did get,
Ezra.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, he was talking about him being Ezra. It was going to be Luke. It was going to be Mace. It was going to be Cal Kestis from the Jedi Fallen Order games, or game, I should say, because it's only one. There's a whole bunch of theories going on.
It was going to be Rey.
Dear Lord. Rey wasn't even. I don't know if she was born at this time, but
yeah, probably not because Luke is still a young man. If not, probably just born or something.
Anyways, 15.
Yeah, 15. All I can really get angry about is that they dehelmed Din again without any sort of impact when they're pretending to be stormtroopers.
This I will say it was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, it was dumb.
This I was trying not to get too much into little details because I knew we'd talk about this more in the season 2 because the whole real theme of the season, I guess, well, one of the themes is him questioning him following the code of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Or the code, his viewpoint of the code. And the helmet issue was a big one. And we'll talk more about this in 16. But this 15 with him removing the helmet to get past the security measures, it was a little...
Yeah.
I figure they could have found some way around it.
I mean, pretty much the things I do like about this is it shows that Din is he can handle himself in combat without all his gadgets and gizmos when he's in the Dark Trooper outfit. He handled his own against all these horde of I don't even know what they were, to be honest. I forgot what the
speed bikes, speeders,
and also we get some character arc of Bill Burr. He was a ex-stormtrooper, and it kind of goes into that. And I thought that
really this episode was just to redeem him.
Yeah, basically, it's oh, remember the unlikable guy from the dumb episode? Well, he's cool now, which worked. It did win me over because I did like his character. Can't think of his name for the life of me on the show, but
freaking Bill Burr.
Yeah, Bill Burr. That's what it was. Yeah. It was Joseph. It was Wilbur.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
if that's any better. It's even worse.
It was
Mayfield.
It was Finn.
No, it was Mayfield.
It was Poke 10.
Miggs Mayfield.
Oh, was it really? Oh yeah, I remember Mayfield. Yeah. Mayfield. That would be Bill Burr's name in the Star Wars universe. Miggs Mayfield.
But yeah,
that just showing his character arc and a bit of his backstory I thought was interesting, and they pulled it off well. Good episode.
It was definitely just like a little placeholder till the finale.
No, it's still a good episode though.
It was still good.
Then we're on to chapter 16, The Rescue.
Now where do you want to start with this one? Boy, I don't even know where to begin on this episode. I really don't. Do we start with the whole... I'm trying to remember what happened in what chronological order.
Yeah, I kind of forgot, to be honest. I just remember the end. Of course, the conflict with Gideon and his Dark Troopers, and then later on it's these robotic Dark Troopers.
And Mando going one-on-one with a freaking Dark Trooper.
Yeah.
Set in the dark, him having that much trouble with only one of them set up how powerful if you get all of them in the room together. You're in some trouble. I'm trying to think what happened in what order.
It was then he finds.
So did he go one-on-one? He had to go one-on-one with the Dark Trooper after or before he did it with Moff Gideon, right?
I think it was before Moff, because he captured him and brought him to the whole control deck or whatever where all the other cast was. Yeah.
What did I say?
Can't say I really remember.
It's the ending.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, there was talk for, at that point it was about a month. Who was going to be the Jedi to take Grogu / Baby Yoda
I mean, you kind of knew
And it
when
turned
you
out to
saw
be Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, you kind of knew when you saw the green lightsabers. Like, oh yeah, it's Luke. Which
I kind of figured it was going to be Luke when I saw that X-wing.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the? It's Luke that comes to pick up Grogu. What do you think about the deep fake, technology?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. What did I think about Luke Skywalker just being like father like son? Did you see the meme how it was like father like son, and on the bottom it had Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian season 2 finale, and on the top it had Darth Vader and Rogue One.
I don't remember. This. I mean, yeah, it's.
You don't remember Darth Vader and Rogue One?
Yeah, I do.
That's like the most memorable scene of the whole movie.
Yeah. I just know that both.
Like how both of those compared, especially in that last hallway that Luke went through.
Yeah. And fighting off.
Like using the Force to squeeze one of the Dark Troopers to get in a ball.
Yeah, it did
hack and slash. Yeah.
The scenes were, resembled each other very closely. Also, from Rogue One, we get this deepfake technology. It was fun. It did not look good. I mean, the voice was perfect, but because
I think he came back to voice.
I know,
I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I heard Mark Hamill actually came back to do the voice.
It's hard to pull off. I don't know if they can do any sort of de-aging technology to the voice, but it sounded just like him from.
Which I mean, Rogue One, it didn't really look that bad.
No, because that's a higher production film. This is a TV show with a lower budget, so of course they're more limited. But
terrible, but it didn't look great either.
Yeah, the Rogue One pulled it off way better, but this one, it was just too stiff, and Luke's eyes looked dead, and his mouth hardly moved. I think,
like I said, it didn't. I've seen worse, but I've seen better.
Yeah, I think they could have pulled it off better if it was like if the scenes were composited a little differently, but it was like the camera was just like front and center on his face, like too close. I think if they would have like backed off a bit, it would have fared better. Like just have other things in this scene, it would have looked better.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I mean, you knew who it was. It got the most important thing. That's the
point. Yeah, but I think it is. It's just one of those things.
It takes you out of it a little bit.
Yeah, you have to critique just a little bit if something pulls you out, which it obviously did. But yeah. Then Joseph got Joseph got really excited for that.
Yeah, man, R2's the real hero of the whole series.
Yeah, we see R2-D2 in every movie. I'm not I'm not shocked to see him. I mean, I was trying to be sarcastic. I am shocked to see him. He appears in every other media.
I mean, if Luke was there, R2 probably won't be that far behind.
I know, but man, they just shoehorn R2 into everything Star Wars. He's in the original trilogy, the prequel, the sequel.
I don't get a problem with it.
Fine. Okay. That's fine. But it grinds my gears, okay? My gears have been grinded.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're talking about how they're gonna recast Luke with Sebastian Stan, who plays Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies.
Yeah. He does resemble him very much so, and I think that they should have done that in the first place. But I think for sure that if Luke is to be a recurring character, that
I don't know if he's going to be a recurring character in The Mandalorian. I imagine he probably will. Here's the thing. Season 3, it could either be one of two things. I'm about to say Baby Yoda. I'm so used to calling him Baby Yoda. Grogu still training with Luke.
Used to Grogu.
Yeah, but Grogu either still training with Luke at the time the season 3 starting, or he had already completed his training and will return to Mando. Either way, baby, Grogu is not going anywhere. I don't believe it.
It does seem like all kind of concluded a bit. Like I don't really see, besides the Mandalorian plot where you know, with the dark saber. But like other than
amount of money that Baby Yoda / Grogu carries, I highly doubt he will stay gone for long.
Yeah, knowing Disney, you're probably right. But I would like if like season 3 was focused on another plot point, because Baby Yoda pretty much like that was the conflict that carried the show essentially, and with him,
I don't know. It's just gonna be a little weird if Baby Yoda ain't gonna be a part of season 3. It's just.
I think it would be I think if they didn't include Grogu in season 3, it will be a lot more impactful. Like if you return.
I'll still watch
4.
it either way. I'm not saying I'm gonna like riot and.
But
anyway. No Grogu riot in the street. No, I'm not saying any of that crap. No. Cancel my subscription.
What I was finally getting to, and what you're curious about when I was ranting on season 1 about Din taking off his helmet, is, you know, he takes off his helmet for Grogu, and there's like this really emotional scene, and I feel like that would have had a lot more impact if we didn't get those other 2 scenes. Like if we've never seen Din's face this entire series, and this is the part where we finally see it, and it's because of Baby Yoda, this thing that he fathered this entire series, and like he has this cold exterior, but this would just show like his character arc of like growing attached to something. I think it would have been a lot better and more impactful if would have just saved the de-helming scenes for this scene. And you know, I feel like the people working on this probably thought the same way too. Like, man, we should have, I don't know, maybe saved it for this last scene. It's still a good scene, but it would have had more punch, more oomph if we didn't have.
See, I will definitely agree with you as far as that second scene goes with him. Like,
but
the first scene.
How was it important for the first scene in chapter 8?
That first one.
How is it?
That's why I said, like, before you cut me off, I said, as far as the second scene goes, I completely agree with you. That, or the first scene, the scene where he took off his helmet to get past the security measures, I will 100% agree with you. That shouldn't have happened. They should have found some other way around it.
And it shouldn't have happened in chapter 8
The first scene was the droid. That one's a little...
still unnecessary.
I can definitely see where you're coming from with, if that hadn't happened, it would be a whole lot more meaningful with Grogu and
like just imagine you get the scene seeing Luke and you get to finally see the Mandalorian's face. Like
I said, I understand where you're coming from. Like I'm not faulting you for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I'm just trying to figure out if like I agree with you wholeheartedly with that, because I honestly didn't even think about that until like just now. Like I don't know. Is that first? Like I said, the first in chapter 8, that was just a culminating of him not trusting droids. And
and
growth.
Yeah, and back then
hadn't happened.
Yeah, I think it's important for his character growth to trust a droid and show his face. Even I like I said in the season 1 review, I don't have a problem with him showing his face as a droid. Just showing his face to the audience, I didn't like. Nothing to do with the character thing, just...
Yeah, but if they didn't show his face, I'll counter-argument with this. If they didn't show his face, people would say, like, how did he get okay? Like, that kind of thing. And people, you know how people criticize.
Well, they have a working brain. They can assume if he's okay, then he probably did it.
Some people don't know how to put, like, they don't really know how to look
put two and two together.
The details. Yeah. They have to be spoon-fed everything. I don't know. I definitely see where you're coming from with that. I'll say that. I definitely agree with you with that security measure in season 2. But I don't know. I'll have to think about it more as far as that IG 88 the IG unit goes. Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from with that, though.
Yeah. Do you feel like the fans are a little dramatic with like Luke coming back to
Star
save?
Wars fans dramatic? No.
You're a little dramatic.
No.
You're a little dramatic about Star Wars fans.
Oh, wasn't that obvious? I try not to be.
You love this Star Wars fandom.
God, I hate the Star Wars fandom.
I mean, what is anyone a fan of any fandom? I mean, they're all pretty bad.
Toxic.
Yeah, I mean, some are not toxic, but still like annoying. But yeah, like there's certainly
what appears. I don't know what the percentage is, but what appears to be the overwhelmingly majority of the fandom, and really a bunch of other fandoms. I could go there. We could do a whole podcast of like all the toxic fandoms out there. But yeah, it is. Oh boy.
I'll admit, I don't think I've seen all the Mandalorian because I don't think I sat around for the post-credits scene.
There's a post-credit scene?
Yeah, where Boba goes to Jabba's palace.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Just setting up his show.
Yeah. But,
season 2 ending with them going their separate ways, Grogu and
yeah, he gave permission.
Mando.
Yeah. Grogu... Din gave his blessing to Grogu. Not blessing. That sounds like they're getting married. Gave his permission to go on with Luke. But yeah, did the Mandalorian season 2 save your year in 2020? Did it save Star Wars for you?
It didn't really save Star Wars, but sure.
I mean, we can't just ignore the 3 movies that came out within the last 5 years. Yeah, I think people are. They have like the initial high of they have like the initial high of like Star Wars media that's actually competent, like actually good, and they're overblowing it. Like it's like these 2 seasons aren't.
Well, let me look up this quote real quick. Hang on, keep talking. I'm gonna look up a quote real quick that sums up how I feel about the Star Wars fandom.
Here he's still on the Star Wars fandom.
You're the one talking about it.
We're over it. It was a little tidbit, but yeah, like the Mandalorian, it's like a piece of like competent media that we get from Star Wars, and I think people are just too excited about it and praise it a bit too much. You know, like I've seen people saying that the season 2 saved 2020, a bad year for everyone. That saved their year, or it saved Star Wars, and it's like, yeah, it's just like good Star Wars storytelling, but it's by no means the best that Star Wars has ever offered to us. But I like season 2, and yeah, I like it better than season 1. But with the question of did the Mandalorian season 2 save Star Wars for me? Nah. I mean, I don't really see like Star Wars being tainted by this sequel trilogy. I mean, it's bad. I don't like it, but you could just watch other Star Wars stuff. It doesn't have to ruin the films for the other stuff that you like for you. It's just bad Star Wars films. That's how I see it.
Can't find it.
Ooh, that was fun. These are not the fans you're looking for.
Here it is. Everyone takes Star Wars so seriously, like if the movie's bad, it's just going to ruin their lives. When you wake up in the morning, whether this is the greatest movie ever or a total piece of crap, your life isn't going to change at all.
Well, yeah, that's what I was pointing at, is just because we have some of these bad Star Wars stuff, it doesn't mean it has to ruin... It doesn't ruin the other movies. You could just enjoy those separately, and yeah.
Exactly. Like I said, everyone takes Star Wars so seriously.
Yeah.
Or like Will Wheaton said. Yes, I just quoted Big Bang Theory. Live long and suck it.
You deserve a boo. Boo boo. But yeah, like, I think people are overhyping the ending. It didn't save Star Wars for us, but this is solid Star Wars TV, and we're looking forward to season 3 when that comes out probably this year. Any concluding arguments or thoughts, Joseph? For me, no. I'm just ready to take a break from Star Wars for now. I mean, we're gonna get to other Star Wars reviews, but
fun then.
I just mean, like, you know, I don't think people want Star Wars video. Darius is coming back soon. We'll probably have a regular podcast coming soon, and some other things to look out for, so make sure to subscribe, and if you like the video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up, and also subscribe as well, and comment how Joseph is cool. He looks very nice today. Just give him a good compliment.
I look fat. Look at that thumbnail.
There's no thumbnail with you in it.
Look at the picture you drew of me. Look at my neck. Do you think I have that big of a neck?
I literally traced the screenshot.
No, you didn't.
I promise I did. Anyway, mash out.
Mash out. Mashy out.
Mashy Christmas. Mashy New Year.
Mashy New Year.